top tip or 2 or 3? Okay, there's a lot of tips. I come from like cyclocross racing, and we run like crazy low tire pressures on like pretty tiny tires, 33 millimeter tires. And I mean, I will run like 10 PSI if it's a snowy, cold race and I need the traction. It's the total opposite for gravel. The key with gravel, especially long gravel races, you just don't want to flat your tires. So it's against every instinct in my body, but like I tend to run a little higher pressure than I normally would. I did this race called Rule of 3 in Arkansas this spring when I was actually down in Arkansas doing advocacy work, and I ran cyclocross pressures and I flatted 3 times. You know, so I'm like, okay, I weigh 145 something pounds. I run 30 PSI in my like 42 mil gravel tires. I think making it through the race is like obviously if you puncture, you're done. You're not, and if you can't fix your puncture, you're done. You spend all this time and money and energy trying to get to this event, and then you get a flat tire. And the one thing too is like just hydrating and eating. I eat and drink a lot on the bike. I actually think I ride bikes so that I can eat and drink. So I'm constantly snacking. I'm eating my goo chews, drinking water, eating a goo shot, drinking water, just like going crazy. And then the last thing is just general is like, don't make any changes to your gear the night before a race or the day of the race. Make sure your gear's dialed. Don't put a new chain on that week. Make sure you've got your gear dialed and you've ridden it a handful of times in the few days, the week before the event, so you just know it's all working right. So you're not worrying about it, you're not futzing around with stuff. I see that a lot. Again, I run a pro women's bike race team, and I've had dozens and dozens of women that I've worked with, and some of them are dialed. They have their bikes dialed, no problems. Others are messing with their saddles the morning of the race, and their stuff's not working right. And I'm like, you know what? Volvo and Jose, they have a great neutral service program here. Have them take a look at your bike the day or two before the event. Even today, we got plenty of time today. Make sure your bike's dialed. Try not to mess with your bike the night before or the morning of the race.